Daddy, tell me a story. Okay, my love, let me tell you a story. The story is about an immaculate weaver who, with her persistent fabrication, transcended every insurmountable pinnacle there is to accomplish. Around a millennia ago, there was an immaculate weaver. Her name was ARACHNE. She had a prowess to fabricate the most magnificent paradigm exhibitions. Her propensity to knit with a persistent approach captivated every woman, and every child that had the fortune to have a glimpse of her knitting modus operandi. The essence that resided in her patterns manifested the glisten of the most priceless relics that outclassed even the gleaming desire of the stars. However, as her prowess multiplied with time, she consumed the ingredient of pride, and it is then she began to divulge a sense of overbearing gestures as she persistently boasted the art of embellishing that resided in her craft. She began to consider her artistic aesthetics and manifestation better than any goddess. This overbearing sentiment caught the eye of the goddess of prudence and weavers, Athena. Athena felt disrespected and decided to examine ARACHNE's warehouse. She camouflaged her essence with the disguise of an old woman and found ARACHNE's work to be spectacular to the core. To grant her a reprieve against the exaggerating claims and disrespect she divulged, Athena praised her fabrication and counseled her to manifest respect to the goddess, as she is the goddess of the weavers and must be respected by all means. ARACHNE still lost in her haze of braggadocio. Well, I have never seen her craft, and no one has really seen it, to be honest. And even if it was manifested by some degree, I'm going to be the inevitable victor. As far as my work is concerned, it outweighs the magnificence of any man, woman, or even a goddess. My work will always be better than Athena, no matter what. If she disagrees, then I challenge her to show up and be audacious enough to enter a contest where the entire realms will examine the depth that lies in my imagination and the finesse that lies in my craft. Athena was consumed by rage and uncloaked her disguise, revealing her fascinating splendor that captivated and engraved apprehension in the eyes of the villagers as they bowed. However, ARACHNE was unperturbed and still clasped her claims without a hint of respect and fear. Poor child, you have no idea what you are up against. You still clasp the arrogance like it's going to fuel your cause. As you have disrespected me beyond any measure, you are about to pay the dreadful price. As I'll crush your pride, I agree to settle the nonsensical dispute that you have surged amidst your wretched existence. As the evening arrives and the sun takes its last breath, this filthy warehouse of yours will become the domain where I'll crush your hubris, break your spirit, and send your untamed vanity to the precipice of eternal oblivion. Athena underestimated the competencies and the fervor that resided in ARACHNE's persistent knitting. The most spectacular and one-of-a-kind concourse reached the precipice of inception, as each and every element, the stars, the winds, men, women, children, and even the gods were the jury. It was a once-in-a-lifetime miracle that even the gods claimed an honorable sight to witness. ARACHNE and Athena weaved, knitted, and fabricated the patterns and sewed the most immaculate and salivating pieces of craft that had the prowess to claim their place amidst the most magnificent things in all realms. Their work exhibited the finesse of the most exquisite insight that has the prowess to captivate the hardest essence in the entirety of the universe. As the concourse reached the end, the scent of magnificence carried and distributed its fervor and pulsitude everywhere. Even the gods were astounded and carried away amidst the song manifested by the crafts. Athena created an embroidery which divulged the most immaculate manifestation of the primordial essence of the gods and the goddesses. She fabricated the prominence of essence as she conquered Athens and dominated, eviscerated, and vanquished Poseidon. This depicted the true prominence of gods and the goddesses amidst mankind. While Arachne was embroidering a contrasting argument that confided Athena's masterpiece amidst the purgatory of transgression and malfeasance, she fabricated the abduction of Europa, orchestrated by Zeus, depicting the outrageous, biased, and atrocious paradigm that has been manifested by the gods and the goddesses through the ages. Her craft promulgated the clear fabrication of sarcasm against gods and the goddesses who exhibited their prowess to berate mankind. Arachne's work depicted the unquestionable real truth that far outstretched the paradigm captivated by Athena in her fabrication. Despite the audacious manifestation and judgment of the filthy misdemeanors concocted by the gods through the ages confided in Arachne's craft, the engraved and undeniable verdict was that it was a profound, magnificent, and prolific manifestation that outweighed even Athena's fabrication. As Athena saw Arachne's work, Athena felt disparaged and disgraced as not only Arachne won the conquerors, she became the victor by mutilating the reputation of the gods and the goddesses that were obligated to be revered amidst mankind. Athena's wrath became incumbent and propelled by the mere outcome that engraved her name amidst the essences that has been defeated by a mere reckless mortal creature. To counterfeit and divulge her reprimanding gesture, she incinerated Arachne's work and lambasted Arachne as she hit Arachne's head with the same needle she equipped to fabricate the paradigm. And then she imprecated the hubris girl. As the night arrives, you will become a horrendous creature, as your sense has no demeanor. The eloquence that you thwart you manifested will be a requiem for a grotesque fate. The arrogance you casted for a decade will drench amidst the cocoon that will emerge from the scriptures of hate. It is an endowment and an imprecation that will besiege your existence with an eternal shame. It is your story that will fabricate a lesson for every hubris that glimpses and approaches arrogance, as if it was a relic to claim. Your grotesque offsprings will remind you of the contempt that reside amidst your repulsive stench. You never awakened the true prudence that resides in everything, as you swallowed pride as if it was something. You will be confided amidst the facade that will remind you of the persistence that lies in your craft. The repercussion of the tale is a requirement for the untamed ramification that pride can fabricate if it supplements your existence with a hubris that can consume you and can reinforce your essence with an eternal callous disregard. So when you do something, never boast, exaggerate, and stain its prominence with any adulterated ethic, and especially hubris. The manifestation of pulchritude lies in its essence, and it must be divulged with a flavor of fervor and honor.